everyone sleeps, right? As it currently stands, I've not slept, and it's 12 p.m. right, the next day. It's the following afternoon. It's the following lunchtime, and I've still not slept. So I'm doing a sleep position tier list. First up, you've got this. So what this is here is it's a guy, right? This imagine this is you. You're like fully tucked in. You got your little hands like on the blanket over your face, like you're fully covered. This sometimes goes hard. Sometimes. But only if it's very, very cold, or you have like a horrific headache. Like if you have an awful headache and like nothing is curing it, you've drank enough water, you know, you've had medication, nothing is curing your headache, this is the way to go. Get yourself wrapped up, get yourself in the dark, and try and sleep. You won't be able to, but this is not really a sleeping position and more of a comfort position in my eyes. For that, you know, it has some good things. It's going to go for... We're going to put it in, it happens. It happens. You know, rare occasion. Probably at the very bottom of it happens, but it happens. Next up, you've got this, where you've completely disregarded the blanket. You've completely disregarded the pillow, and you're like falling off. This pretty much looks like any drunk person who's like just fallen into bed. This does not go hard. This is actual trash. I'm calling you out. If you sleep like this, you are not sleeping right. Like, dude, I can understand getting rid of the blanket. I can understand getting rid of the pillow. I would personally keep the blanket, but I can understand getting rid of a pillow sometimes. But what is this, man? Why are you hanging off the edge? Like, don't get me wrong. The arm or the leg hanging off the edge sometimes goes hard, but it's temporary. Like, this should be in It Happens, but the fact that they've completely disregarded the blanket as well, never catch me sleeping like that. All right, the next one. Okay, so they've rolled up the blanket. They're not under the blanket. Yeah, I don't know if the blanket's like are we assuming that you'd be under a blanket? Like with this one, if we're assuming that you'd be under a blanket, this goes hard. I feel like we probably should, right? Because it's weird because some of them have blankets, unless that's just to show like how much coverage you've got. I feel like that's what it is. In that case, this one from before, if you've got the blanket on, I can see this. This is going to be in It Happens. Okay, then you've got this one. So we're assuming that you'd be under the blanket, right? You've kind of rotated a bit. This is another one which happens. I would actually say this is almost an often. It just depends how big the bed you're sleeping in is. If you're in a single, you are not doing this. You are not pulling this off in a single. But if you've got a big enough bed, hey, that's an often. That is an often. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a change around, you know? Next up, we've got... This is not a sleeping position, my friend. This is something very, very different. And for that reason, this probably belongs in weird. Next, what we're rocking with? We're rocking with the good old arms out, laying on back. The NPC sleeping position is what this is. I don't think I've ever successfully slept like this in my entire life. This has got to be the most uncomfortable, comfortable looking sleep position in the world. That's a never. This is almost weird. I don't think people actually sleep like this. But isn't it weird that sleeping is almost always depicted like this? Food for thought. Okay, what we got next? We got the like chilling, trying to look cool sleep position. I feel like this is the sort of position you'd be laying in if you were like, if there was something over to the side that you were looking at, like a person or like a TV or like YouTube or something, right? There might be someone watching a video laying like this right now. You are not sleeping like that though. And we're assuming that these are sleeping positions. This is also weird. It's not as weird as that one, but it's weird. All right, what else we got? We've got pretty much the same thing as being under the blanket, but I'm guessing we're assuming that the blanket's coming up to like shoulder height. So it's just essentially laying on your back. I personally don't find it too comfortable, but it's one where like it's safe, right? And there's definitely people who sleep like this. I think you're supposed to sleep on your back. This is going to be in an It Happens for me personally. You know, it happens sometimes. I'd say it doesn't happen as much as... Honestly, do I go fully covered more than I go laying on back? You know, that's tough. I think they're pretty even for me. But this one actually happens a lot more. All right, what else we got? We've got like the spread out, pretty much the laying on back, but this, like, arms up in the air. I don't think I've ever slept like this. I don't think I've ever seen anyone sleep like this. This is weird. This is very weird. Like, don't get me wrong, you could sleep like that, but I don't know why you would. Laying on your side in the like fetal position, I believe they call this. Always. Always. W sleeping position. Super comfortable. Even better if you've got something between your knees. Super comfortable. W. Absolute W sleeping position. You will sleep like a baby. And we got this one. Honestly, this is the first weird looking sleeping position, which is actually a W. This sleeping position goes hard. I'm not someone who sleeps on my back, but with the leg lifted up a little bit. It's kind of like on your side, kind of like on your back. You've got the arm under the pillow. Honestly, the arm under the pillow goes absolutely hard. This is a W sleeping position. It's an often, but it's not nearly as often as like the diagonal, I would say, for me personally. Next up, we got the crossed legs and arm up combo. I don't know if this is supposed to be on their front or on their back. I'm gonna say that this is just weird. I don't really understand this one at all. I feel like this might be... It's either at the top or the second of weird. I feel like if this is on the front, it's a lot more, like, viable. Because you've got, like, the elbow support, but I don't know. I don't know if you'd want to sleep like that still. This is weird. Then we've got the, like, I can't sleep. God help me sleep. Sleeping position. This one also goes hard. You're like just rotated round, left the pillow behind. This one absolutely goes hard. It happens. It does happen. It's not a regular occurrence. Not like the old diagonal or like horizontal. But yeah, sometimes this happens. Sometimes it's nice to have like a rotate around, you know. And up next, we've got the spooning a pillow sleep position. Now, if this is like the fetal position like I was talking about earlier, but just with like something there, it would be an S. It'd be an always. But this one, I don't know, it's giving different vibes. It's like full on like riding the pillow almost. And I want to put this in always because, again, if that pillow that were there, or like if there was another pillow here and it was there, you know, you could swap these pillows around and I would say that that would be more viable. Unfortunately, I can't put that one in always. I don't even know what this pillow is, unless that's meant to be the blanket. If that's supposed to be the blanket, that is a W. That is an always. That is, or maybe not an always, but an often. That's a great sleeping position, assuming that that's the blanket. Like, it's hard to tell with these images, man. They don't give you much context. You just got to try and figure this stuff out. But that's what I'm assuming, okay? We've got the smother sleep position. I don't know if this is supposed to be like laying on your front or laying on your back with a pillow on your head. Either way, not that great. If you're laying on your front with the pillow there, it can be pretty comfortable. But this one is... I'm going to put this in never. It's just too weird. Like, if it does happen, it's so rare that it's like pretty much on par with like the NPC sleep position anyway. And last but not least, we've got the roll again. I don't know if that's meant to be the blanket. They're like just holding a pillow. I don't know what to say about this one. I don't even know what to think about this one. This is like, it's weird, but because I don't understand it, it kind of just looks like they're carrying a massive backpack. This one's going into the weird tier. Not quite at the bottom. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like.